For today's meeting, we were wanting to do something a little bit different. And as we're always trying to broaden our horizons here at the council, and there are so many interesting people working on our food system throughout the area, we had a hard time deciding who to invite, but we landed on Ciraj Premanantham, who has 3 successful businesses here in Nelson. He and his family have the Kootenay Tamil Kitchen, which is a restaurant on Baker Street. They have the KTK Masala shop across the street from that, and also the KTK Rosemont market up in Rosemont. And I can definitely vouch for the restaurant being great. I had supper there a couple of weeks ago, and Ciraj, I want to let you know that since then, whenever I say, what should we have for dinner? My son, honestly, he says, we should just go to the Tamil Kitchen. So it clearly appeals to all ages.
I'll say thanks to God.
Yeah. So I believe Ciraj trained as a chef in India and has made quite a journey around the world before landing here in Nelson 10 years ago. And so when we invited him today, we asked him to share with us his journey. So we'll have him speak for a little while, and then there will be a chance for a few questions from our group. So thank you, Ciraj, and welcome to the group.
Thank you, everyone. And first of all, thanks to inviting me for this group as a speaker. I think it has all happened because of this community. First of all, wherever I go, whoever asks me any question, the first thing I will start with this is, I can't hide it. I just came 10 years ago, and when I came, I just bring my 2 luggages in a Greyhound bus. That's where it is. And if I start from my country, if I say I have did 1 year college in catering, and then I went to a 4-point Sheraton Group hotel in Chennai. I worked for 1.5 years. And then I got an interview there itself. I came to US Carnival Cruise Line. I hope you can all hear me, right? Yes. So I just landed in Carnival Cruise Line, and I started as a trainee cook. And then I become as a chef when I left the company. The reason I left there is I thought, that's the time I would like to get married. And then when I decided I have to land in a good place to have my next of my life future. Then I fell in love in Canada 2005 when I did a Vancouver to Alaska cruise for 2 years. I did a continuous trip, 2 years. I did the contract. I fell in love, but I didn't realize that I will landed in Nelson. But I become a chef in 19 years old, and I was working till 29 years old there. And I got all, when I get married, within 2 days, my in-laws took me to the hospital and say, your blood pressure is high. You need to watch out. So, I have lots of stress there. And then I decided, and then I applied before I get married, I applied for come to Canada. But after I get married, only I got a chance to come to Canada. And the company hired me is the Rick's Grill. I'm sure if everyone knows, in Prestige, it was like 10 years ago, a restaurant called Rick's Grill. They are the one hired me, and I landed in Calgary airport. Next day, I worked for Sheraton Group Hotel for 1 day. And then they said, the HR manager said, there is a small town in BC, in Nelson. Would you like to go and work for that hotel? And I came here. I think in my 29 years when I came to Canada, like the first 8-hour shift I saw in Canada only. Because even in cruise ship, you can't work for 8 hours, or in India. So it was, I felt like it has too much of lifetime you have after your work 8 hours. And I learned a lot from this community. And when I landed, so many people came forward. I go to the church and they come and help me. Do you need this? Do you need that? Do you need this? I got like even my winter jacket was gifted for me. I never bought a jacket. When I came, I put 2 t-shirts on inside and then put a shirt on top and walk to go to work. So that's how I got supported with this community. And then, I landed, and there is a first person who I met in this one is to find a room to stay. I'm not, don't know exactly her last name, but her is Andrea Spencer or something. Uh, she is the corner house of the central school. She gave it to me, the whole house, for $375 in 2012 January, to be honest, because I don't have any other money. I was staying in the Prestige itself. I have talked to many people, but for some reason she said, no, you take it. And if you can find somebody and you can fill up that house, that is great. But that's where I started my first step, with renting a house for 375 for a whole house. But I found another two people to stay with me in 2 months. I think she was just charging me for 375. So that's where my career starts. And then I worked there, and to be honest, it's not enough money because I think it was only $11.70 a minimum wage. So I used to go and shuffle, whether I can legally say it or not. It's a cash job. So I went Ellison Market, the whole complex. I used to shuffle that market. Whenever it snows, everybody, it says sad, but I get happy because I can get extra $15. That's where I started. So it pays me because that's the time my wife was in India and she's studying PhD. And I have to support her and I have to support my family. So I went there, I helped myself, and then had lots of time. And then I grow from there, and we opened the West Coast Grill there after 2 years. And then I opened all over BC for Prestige Hotels, another 5 restaurants, Souk, Cranbrook, Kelowna, Smithers, and Prince George as well. I went and opened, and then, one day I decided, it's too much, or it is something new we want to do or something like that. But the day when I find out, my wife said she is pregnant for second baby. And that's another challenge it has started. And the day she also said, and there is a person, 318 Anderson, Paul uh, Fergus or his last name as well. I forgot his last name. He's another person said, put it in the Kijiji that the space is for rent, and you can come and if you need it, you can open a restaurant. I said, I not even have that much of money to open a restaurant. I had like $475 in my bank account, to be honest, to say to everyone. I said, I need to go and talk to a bank to get a line of credit. If I can get it, then I'll come and say I can get that restaurant for running. And it was the same time my staffs all saying that you should do it, it should do it. They give me a lots of support and encouragement. Siraj, I think it's the next life for you to look at something. It's a goal and dream for you. You are a great chef and things. So definitely their boost up words and their support and hugs made me to think about to open our own restaurant. Same time with my wife, I cannot say I'm a selfish or not, but she sacrificed her PhD. She's doctorate in physics, but it's end up that she is my chef, she is my recipe, she's my everything, my backbone, and she created the whole menu and everything. When we start to open a restaurant in 2017, and he gave it to me for $1,500, that building to rent out for that restaurant. And we opened up, and within 1 year, he came back and he said, if you want to buy that building, you are more welcome to buy it. And I will be mortgage. I'll hold the mortgage for you. So you not even go to bank. So that's how it's all coming one by one with this community. And I don't know, it is my hard work, or I believe in God, or this community made me to make me to grow and look more proud. The more they come to me and they say, I feel I have to work more harder for this community. And that is how we opened up. And then we bought that building 2018 itself. With that, And then when I finished that building, I suddenly got a phone call from the Baker Street, Joanna Markinson, who's the HR manager in the city hall. She said, hey, there is an Indian restaurant is closing down. Are you willing to move to Baker Street? And then that's another thing. It is next challenges. And I said, well, okay, I need to think about it. But I talked to my wife and we decided, okay, there is another chance God is giving us. You want to go and check it out. And then we went it, we liked it. And it's a big space. So it's a huge little bit of step to make financially and everything back up. Again, we put ourselves and I trusted my staff and they boosted me up again and again. And we can do it, Siraj, let's go there. Then we moved there. 2019, we moved there. We were running for 2 years and 2020, suddenly it's got COVID hits. But in the middle time, Prestige, I left the Prestige and they again called me back. Can you give me a help on assisting stuff? And I was helping them in the same time. But 2020, when the COVID comes, it is a very sad that we have lots of food, lots of stuff, what we're going to do. And then we decided, and my wife said, why don't we try out to package our packaging stuff, the spices and the stuff, what we bring, we can show to the customers what we buy, what we use. That's the same thing. They can use it also in their curries and in their home. So we packaged and we left it in the table when they come for pickup and takeout stuff time. And they saw that and they see it, they liked it, and it has a huge response. And then within 6 months, my restaurant looks like a grocery store, not look like any more restaurant. So it was another thing. And then it's one Sunday, I parked my car in front of the room in Sunday to pick up a lunch for my kids and my family. And I saw a huge poster, moving sale, September 1st. Closing. And then, I was telling to my wife, I not even turn on my truck. I still remember that conversation when I'm talking to my wife. Hey, this place is moving. That means that place is coming for empty. And I didn't realize that that space is huge. It's a 9,000 square foot where it is right now. And I said, and my wife was started yelling at, she didn't use any foul language, but she physically yelled at me, are you crazy? It's a COVID and we are just getting into it. What are you looking for? I said, our restaurant looks too crowded. I just want to ask him if he can give us a small space to support our grocery store. He is moving. I really don't know who's the owner, who's what. Again, I turned off my truck. I stepped into the room and I asked the staff, hey, can I speak to your manager or a owner? And then Rob, owner, came out from that corner. Hey, bud, what do you want? And then I said, oh, you are the owner? I said, yes. Then he's our customer buying samosas and butter chicken and everything. So it was a great introduce myself. But I didn't tell him anything what I want, but I told him I want to talk to you about the space and stuff. He said, why don't you give me 2 days? It's a weekend. I will give you a call back, because he usually takes Monday, Tuesday off or something. And then he called me on Wednesday. Actually, he called me. I didn't even call. He called me on Wednesday. Hey, what's going on? What do you want? And then I told him this is what's happening. I feel like my restaurant is a little bit too crowded with grocery store look. We would like to expand our grocery store. And can you help me out? And he said, the first word he said, sure, no problem. And then I said, but I don't want full space. I'm looking like a 500 to 700 square foot, just a small corner. If you can help me out. And then he said, you know what, but this place is here for another 1 more year. I have the lease for this building. If you need to do, you have to do it right now, and we can figure it out. And if it is not, we can find out what is going to happen. And I said, I need at least 2 to 3 months, and I don't know what's the budget or what it is, but I want to try out. And I asked him for the 1/4 of the window, because it has a 2 address, A and B. I said, I need 1 window, but he in the same day, he said, why don't you take half of the store in the front? It makes your store look better. Rather than you are having a corner, you will not have a front view or anything. You can't display anything. And I get a great advice of his business thing, and he uh, gave me that opportunity, first of all, to open up with the, you know, with the $2,000 rent for that whole building. We were shared, and he was supporting as a family, and he said, go ahead and try out. And thanks to God again, to our community. Like, I started with one, just an Indian nationality. I didn't bring anything else because I I don't know any other supplier or a vendor or anything to get into that market, and I can't bear any inventories and stuff. But when I start to open it, people come to me and ask for this, and can I get this? Can you find for me? Can you find? So I go every month to Coast, Vancouver, Calgary, and Edmonton and find out who is the supplier, who's the importer, where we can find the products to bring it to Nelson community. And today, I think we have more than 17 nationality item we have, and we have more than 4,000 SKUs in my store to have that all the products from all over world, I think. And the latest, we were running, and then suddenly, again, I got a call from KTK Rosemont, the Rosemont market lady. She is closed for 2 years, the store, and then she suddenly gave me a call and she said, hey, are you looking for shelving to take? I am planning to close. It's already closed, but we are planning to sell all those stuff. I might rent it to a daycare people. Do you want some shelving? So that's how I started and stepped into that KTK Rosemont marketplace and took all their shelvings and made a more shelving into my store and make it more product available for our customer. And I head in, and then she came back and she come to pick up for a money back for the shelving. She come and tried my food. She's from Swiss, I believe. And she tried my soup and butter chicken sauce, and she fell in love. And she said, after she called me back in 3 days when she picked up the food, she said, why don't you start a store in my store and I will rent it out to you? I said, no, 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 no. It's too much. It's too much. It's in July. It's in July. I said, no, I feel it is too much. I'm going too fast. I feel like I'm not ready enough for that. No, you give a try. You see what is going to happen and stuff. But I said no first. And then I left it for actually 1 month. And again, she came back. The place is still available. You can come and take it anytime you want. And then I again talked to my wife, and I had a great support with my staff. Wherever I take a new adventure, they always behind of me and come and support me for wherever I go. Again, we find out, she said, sure, you can take it. And we started, I think, August. Within 20 days, I actually flipped that building into a new business because there is no alcohol. So it was a quick turnover. It's a business license and a cigarette license. So it's not much to do. And then whatever the shelving I took back, I bring it back again. And I put it back, and we opened up the same store in Rosemont. Again, when we started with little bit, but now people know what they want. And I also learned what the community need is. It's a great store. It is, do we can make a big chunk? No, but we can do lots of things for community who they live, and it is a corner store they always missed for 2 years. So when I see that small things kids need it, or people who disabled people need it, and I find out we also start to give a free delivery for the people who lives in that in the old age homes or the apartments. They can't come down and be doing that. So it is a great for me, I'm giving back something to the community, what I felt, and I was very happy that I took that store. And whenever I go there or whenever I stop by, all the people who oversee, it's amazing. We don't need to drive back to Baker Street or to a downtown just for a small thing. So it was a very happy moment that I felt that whenever somebody tell me. So that's what it is with the 3 stores. Come back to my family. It is totally, um, it's a great. My 2 kids born here in the hospital. Um, Again, they sacrifice for me a lot, and I'm trying to be a good dad nowadays, not to work 16 hours a day. I'm trying to be 12 hours a day and another 12 hours to with my kids and trying to help out. Uh, but they are supporting a lot for us. And yeah, this is my 3 achievements so far, and I think it's all because of the family and the community and people whoever I see. They always encourage with their words and supportive hugs. That makes us success people, I think.
Thanks, Suraj. Wow,
Thank
that is quite a story of hard work and maybe a little good luck, but I assume that's because of your personality that people were drawn to offer you to work with them, and amazing leaps of faith that you keep on taking. So
Yes.
it's impressive. And I think I could probably speak for a lot of Canadians that they wouldn't necessarily think after 8 hours of work, oh, that's not enough work. We have too much free time. So yeah, that's a really great story you have to share. A lot of hard work. So, I can think of a few more things to ask, but we have about 10, maybe 12 minutes that we have reserved for questions. So why don't we put it out to the group? If anybody wants to ask something to Suraj, please go ahead.
Siraj, I have a question for you, which is, I'm just curious how your focus on Indian cuisine and your restaurant is seen amongst the rest of the kind of restaurateurs and the rest of the food scene there in Nelson. There's so many different kinds of restaurants. So I'm just curious about that. Like, are you seen as a unique niche? Do people want to partner with you on things? Have you been part of any kind of larger food system talks and gatherings, that kind of stuff?
Not yet for the gathering stuff, but when we decided to open a restaurant till the week before, we didn't plan for any menu when we want to open a Tamil kitchen. But that's the time my wife said, what are we going to do for a food? I said, I don't know. And then she said, why don't we do the food what we eat day to day in our home? That's a new culture that we want to bring it to Nelson, because I'm a chef for last 19 years when I was ready to open a restaurant. But we wanted something to bring to this community, what is this community never seen, what the community needed. So when we bring it to this community, it was scary, but at the same time, they all went to India or Asia and they tried our food already. And it was a great challenge for us that to bring it to there. And it was a struggle to find the right product and right stuff. It expenses a little bit lot, but definitely we want to be a unique compared to other Indian restaurant as well as to other restaurant, more into home, mother cooking, grandma's cooking, and why, home cooking. So that was the success it was. And when we did that, I think we also partnered with Kootenay Co-op and we supplied lots of stuff and they made us to grow to accept our food and they put it in their shelf. We delivered actually 13 items to Co-op and Save On when we opened our restaurant, and they made our products to go more outside. And after that, when I moved to Baker Street, it was too much for us and I couldn't continue to serve them. That is where we stopped to save on and co-op. And we had it only because till that time, me and my wife only working in the morning and evening, and it was a tight, and my in-laws little bit helping with my daycare, like my kids and stuff. So yes. Is that the right that you asked for, correct?
Yeah.
Or no?
Yeah, thank you very much. I was just curious. And I just want to say I'm still working my way through your menu. I love the restaurant and it's a real treat to have dosas in our neighborhood. Not so easy to find most places.
Yes, yes.
Hey, Ciraj, thanks for sharing your story. I just wondered if you obviously bring in a lot of different spices and foods into the community, and I wondered if you've seen any supply problems that we always talk about, or if it was still easy to get hold of the items, or if it's getting harder to get hold of some things, or...
It's definitely a great challenge right now with the supply. It is actually what I'm seeing is there is too many middlemen in coast or in all the bigger cities, and they are the one making now monies before the containers landed into our country. How the system is working right now is the importer is bringing the product into the country. Before they open the containers, the middlemen go and buy all the products, whatever in that container, and they make it their own. And then they say it is out of stock. And when the emergency comes, when the people need it, they pump up the pricing so crazy. And that is where I am seeing all those hikes, and product is not available to our community. This side is like when I order a phone order, they say, oh, we don't have that. But whatever they want to sell, they are selling to us because it is 8-hour shipment for us. And I'm a small company when I started, and it is still I'm a small company, but now I have a little bit of buying power to turn over. So now I go every month and I make sure who are all the middlemen, I cut off them, and I'm learning more into that whole importers, and then I'm dealing with them more right now. So it is definitely a challenge, and they are the one that is making causes for us, the price increase, and the product is not available in the market. Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So Suraj, I would like you, when I spoke with you about a month and a half ago, you were telling me that you had just become the regional distributor for a product line. I can't remember what it was,
Jasmine.
but I can't remember, but I just, the thing that fascinates me about the sort of ecosystem of your businesses and the way your mind works, I think you're such an amazing entrepreneur, and you see all these synergies between the different sort of income streams that you have. And so like I watch with interest, because I have the benefit of living near the KTK market here in Rosemont. I watch with interest what's on the shelves and how it changes, and how it's sort of you're interacting with your other store and bringing up what you know this community wants, and having something maybe different down on Baker Street with some overlap. And so I think that the thing that I find really fascinating watching your businesses grow over the years is how dynamic you are, and how much you respond to opportunities and also to need, and that you're so sensitive to what the community is wanting. And the other thing that I just want to applaud you for is I really love seeing the diversity of people that you employ at your different venues. So that, like, the last time I was at the KTK market, there was a young kid behind the till. He was dancing away, singing. He's like, oh, I'm just having some fun. But he's like, I just love Ciraj in this market. I used to work here when old man so-and-so owned it. And so he's like a second gen. He grew up as a student here, going to the market, and now he's working there, and he was so pleased to be there. And so I just really applaud you for your whole, well, your approach, but also how much you're engaged in and committed to giving back to the community. And I think that's why we all love you so much.
For sure. Yeah. always. Again and again, I never think without this community. If I went to Vancouver, because when I become a PR, when I was in Prestige, there was so many offers to me came. Why don't you move to Kelowna, Vancouver, Toronto? So many people, because I given my Red Seal Chef challenge in this college. And when I given my Red Seal Chef, the chef were amazed about my plating and food and stuff. Why you picked Nelson? Why you never go anywhere else? I said, I don't know. I love in this, and God is keep blessing me here. Why I should go to Vancouver or somewhere and be 1,001 person rather than be here at the super person or something, whatever it is. I felt it is more into community that we can support and we can bring something, we educate something to this community. One day I want to do a cooking class sooner to bring this to community, but I'm trying. I couldn't. I will do it. I'll do it one day to show everyone how to do what, and it will help us, and it will make us more happy and see what is Indian cuisine or what it is. It's very simple. Yes.
Okay, well, thank you, Ciraj. It's looking like nobody else has a question. Yeah, thank you so much for joining us. It's been really interesting and I'm sure inspiring for everybody. Yes, I feel like I need to work a little harder now.
No,
Thank
no.
you. So
Thank
if
you,
you would
thank you,
like,
everyone. Yes, go ahead. Sorry.
no, you go ahead.
Thank you so much for inviting me, and I'm really honored and pleasure. And I will definitely work more and more again to bring more to this community. And yeah, I don't know what else, but I will definitely work more for this community. That's the success. Yes.
Great. Well, thank you. We will all enjoy seeing you at your restaurant from time to time. And thanks for dedicating the time in the middle of probably the lunch rush to join us here today. You're welcome to stay and listen in, but to the rest of our meeting. But we have no expectation of that. So wish you a great afternoon.